Han Sujai stared at the strange purple-spotted creature purring in its containment field. The Taban tiger cub, barely the size of a house cat, but with 6 legs and luminescent fur, was the latest addition to her collection of endangered alien felines. There, she whispered, adjusting the atmospheric settings to match the creature's homeworld. You're safe now. Suji's laboratory occupied the top floor of a skyscraper in New Seoul, Earth's most prominent spaceport city. The room hummed with climate-controlled habitats housing 24 alien species, all cats or cat-like creatures, from different corners of the galaxy. Most people called her the crazy cat lady behind her back. Some said it to her face. Suji didn't mind. Her work as a xenobiologist specializing in feline species conservation had saved 12 species from extinction in the past decade alone. Her assistant, a small floating robot named Pong, hovered near her shoulder. The Taban's vital signs are stabilizing, Dr. Han. Good. We got this one just in time. Suji made notes on her tablet. The mining operation on Taba IV destroyed 90% of their hunting grounds. The lab door slid open with a soft hiss. A man in an expensive black suit stepped in, wrinkling his nose slightly at the distinctive odor of multiple alien species. Kim Do-hyun, Suji said without looking up. My answer is still no. Do-hyun smiled, revealing perfect teeth. I haven't asked a question yet. You want to commercialize my research? The answer remains no. He walked around the lab, careful not to touch anything. Your work saving these creatures is admirable, but your funding from the Galactic Conservation Society barely covers your expenses. Suji finally looked up. Do-hyun was handsome in a practiced way, like someone who had received genetic enhancements to appeal to the widest range of human preferences. I manage, she said. Barely. Do-hyun gestured at the worn equipment. Imagine what you could do with proper funding. Sanctuaries on multiple planets, a breeding program, research assistants who aren't outdated robots. Pong made an indignant beeping sound. Suji placed a protective hand on the robot. Pong does just fine. I secured investors. They're impressed with your adaptive genetic sequencing techniques. Do-hyun pulled out a small projector and activated it. A holographic image appeared showing a lush garden world. This entire moon in the Proxima system could be yours. A sanctuary for all your pets. Despite herself, Suji was interested. The Proxima system was home to the Shadow Cats, sleek predators that phased between solid and energy states. Only 50 remained alive. With a sanctuary like that, what's the catch? She asked. A partnership. Your research, my business sense. We establish sanctuaries across the galaxy. For profit. Conservation isn't profitable. Do-hyun smiled again. It can be with the right approach. Your adaptive genetic code helps species survive in new environments. That has applications beyond saving alien kittens. Suji frowned. Like what? Terraforming. Colony adaptation. Medical treatments. Military. No military applications, Suji interrupted. Of course not. Do-hyun agreed too quickly. Just think about it. Your current funding runs out in 3 months. I'm offering you a chance to save every endangered feline species in the galaxy. He placed a contract tablet on her desk. 250,000 credits up front, plus 50% of all commercial applications. Suji looked at her specimens. The Taban cub, the crystalline feline from Denevia, the gaseous cloud cat from the methane seas of Titan. I need time to think, she said. Take all the time you need. Do-hyun headed for the door. Just not too much. The Proxima Shadow Cats don't have much time left. After he left, Suji picked up the contract tablet. Her fingers hesitated over the fingerprint scanner. Pong, what do you think? The robot's lights blinked in what Suji recognized as concern. Business partners require trust, Dr. Han. Yes, but the Shadow Cats. Suji looked at the hologram of the Proxima moon still floating above her desk. A perfect sanctuary. enough space to save dozens of species. She pressed her thumb to the scanner. The contract glowed green with acceptance. "I hope I don't regret this," she muttered. In his private shuttle leaving New Seoul, Do-hyun smiled as the notification appeared on his own tablet. He opened a secure channel. "General Park. It's Kim," she signed. "We'll have access to the adaptive genetic code within the month." "Excellent," came the reply. "The Nari problem will finally be solved." Do-hyun closed the channel and gazed out at the stars. "Sorry, crazy cat lady," he whispered. "It's just business." Soo-jae sat in her new laboratory, surrounded by equipment that still smelled of fresh plastic and metal. 3 months had passed since her partnership with Do-hyun began. The facility was everything he had promised: spacious, state-of-the-art, with separate habitats designed for each species she studied. The Proxima Moon Sanctuary was under construction. Soon, the Shadow Cats would have a new home. 5 other sanctuaries were in planning stages across the galaxy. Dr. Han. Pong hovered near her shoulder. "You have received a message. Priority level. Urgent." Soo-jae frowned. "From who?" "Anonymous sender. It bypassed our security filters." Soo-jae tapped her tablet screen. A document appeared. Classified military plans with the Galactic Defense Force logo. She scrolled through, her frown deepening. "This can't be right," she whispered. The documents detailed weaponized applications of her adaptive genetic code. The technology she had developed to help endangered species survive on new planets had been modified to do the opposite, to prevent certain species from adapting. Specifically, the crystalline Nari species from the Andromeda galaxy. Soo-jae's hands trembled. The Nari were not animals. They were intelligent beings with their own civilization. Using her technology against them would be genocide. At the bottom of the document was Do-hyun's signature. Soo-jae grabbed her coat. "Pong, lock down all research files. Revoke all access except mine." "Where are you going, Dr. Han?" "To see my business partner." Do-hyun's office occupied the top floor of a gleaming tower overlooking New Seoul Spaceport. Soo-jae burst past his surprised assistant and slammed the door open. Do-hyun sat behind a massive desk, talking to a holographic projection of a man in military uniform. The projection disappeared when Soo-jae entered. "Ah, Soo-jae, what an unexpected pleasure." Do-hyun's smile didn't reach his eyes. Soo-jae threw her tablet on his desk. "Explain this." Do-hyun glanced at the screen. His expression hardened. "Where did you get classified military documents?" "Does it matter? You're using my research to kill an entire species. I'm using our research for its most profitable application." Do-hyun's voice was cold. "The Nari are expanding into human territory. Their crystalline biology allows them to survive in environments humans want to colonize. So you're going to make those environments fatal to them." Soo-jae's voice shook with anger. "That's not what my technology is for." "Your technology?" Do-hyun laughed. "Check your contract, Soo-jae. All commercial applications belong to our partnership. The military is paying 5 billion credits for this solution." "It's not a solution. It's extinction. It's progress." Do-hyun stood up. "Humanity needs those planets. The Nari have others." Soo-jae shook her head in disbelief. "I won't let you do this. You can't stop it. The first phase is already being tested." Soo-jae lunged for her tablet, but Do-hyun grabbed it first. "I'll need to confiscate this. Possession of classified documents is a serious crime. I'll tell everyone what you're doing," Soo-jae threatened. "Who would believe you?" Do-hyun smiled cruelly. "The crazy cat lady who values alien life over human progress. The eccentric scientist who talks to her robot. Your reputation works against you, Soo-jae." Soo-jae stepped back, her mind racing. "I'll sue you for breach of contract. This violates our agreement. Read the fine print. There's nothing that prohibits military applications. I specifically said no military use. Not in the signed contract." Do-hyun shrugged. "Your verbal objections aren't legally binding." Suji felt sick. All those endangered species she hoped to save, and now her work would cause an extinction instead. "I want out," she said. "Cancel our partnership. That would be expensive." Do Hyun sat back down. "The contract has a 5-year minimum. Breaking it would cost you everything. Your lab, your specimens, your research." Suji's hands balled into fists. "You planned this from the beginning. Business is about seeing opportunities others miss." Do Hyun opened a drawer and pulled out a contract tablet. "However, I could release you from our agreement for the right price." "What price?" "Sign over all rights to your adaptive genetic code. Complete ownership transfer." Sujai stared at him in disbelief. "So you can kill the Nari without my interference. So our investors don't lose confidence when my unstable partner has a public meltdown." Do Hyun pushed the tablet toward her. "Think about it, Suja. You're alien cats or an alien species you've never even met." Sujai stepped back. "I'll see you in court." Do Hyun sighed. "No one wins against Galaxy Tech Industries, Suji. No one." As she turned to leave, Do Hyun called after her. "By the way, your access to the sanctuaries has been suspended, for security reasons." Outside, Sujai leaned against the building, fighting tears. Her assistant Pong hovered silently beside her. "Pong," she said finally, "find me the best contract lawyer in New Seoul. And then, find me a way to contact the Nari." The courtroom buzzed with tension as Suji walked in with her lawyer, Park Ji-ho. Ji-ho was not the most expensive attorney in New Seoul, but he was known for taking on impossible cases against powerful corporations. "Remember," Ji-ho whispered, "stay calm no matter what they say about you." Suji nodded, clutching her data tablet. Her hands trembled slightly. 3 weeks had passed since she discovered Do Hyun's betrayal. 3 weeks of preparation for this moment. The judge, an older woman named Kang, entered the room. "Court is now in session. Han Suji versus Kim Do Hyun and Galaxy Tech Industries. Plaintiff seeks 250,000 credits in damages and release from contractual obligations." Do Hyun sat at the defense table, surrounded by 5 lawyers in expensive suits. He smiled at Sujai, a smile that said he had already won. Ji-ho stood. "Your Honor, this case is about more than money. It's about preventing the misuse of scientific research for genocide." Objection. Do Hyun's lead lawyer jumped up. "These are baseless accusations. This case is a simple contract dispute." Overruled, Judge Kang said. "I'll hear the evidence before deciding what this case is about." Ji-ho presented the classified documents Sujai had received. "These show the defendant's true intentions for Dr. Han's research." Do Hyun's lawyer objected again. "Those documents were obtained illegally. They're classified military information." "Your Honor," Ji-ho countered, "a crime revealed during discovery of another crime is still admissible evidence." The judge examined the documents carefully. "I'll allow it, but this courtroom is now sealed. No recordings, no transmissions." Suji took the stand first. She explained her research in simple terms, how she had developed the adaptive genetic code to help endangered species survive on new planets when their home worlds were destroyed. "And did you agree to military applications of your research?" Ji-ho asked. "Never," Suji said firmly. "I specifically told Do Hyun I wouldn't allow it." Do Hyun's lawyer stood for cross-examination. "Dr. Han, you're known as the crazy cat lady, correct?" "Some people call me that," Sujai admitted. "Because you value alien animal life over human progress. I value all life. Yet you've never worked to save human endangered species, only alien cats." Suji frowned. "Earth cats aren't endangered anymore." Just as the day's session was ending, the courtroom doors opened. A tall crystalline figure entered, light refracting through its body and casting rainbow patterns across the walls. "Your Honor," Ji-ho said, "the Nari ambassador, Dak, has requested to testify." The courtroom erupted in whispers. The Nari rarely visited Earth and never engaged in human legal proceedings. Judge Kang brought her gavel down. Court will resume tomorrow with the ambassador's testimony. That night, Sujai couldn't sleep. She paced her small apartment, which felt empty without her alien specimens. Du Hyun had seized everything in her laboratory except Pong. Dr. Han, the robot said, "Your heart rate is elevated. You should rest." "I can't, Pong. If we lose tomorrow, the Nari ambassador's testimony will be significant." Suji nodded. After discovering Do Hyun's plans, she had reached out to the Nari through unofficial channels. Their agreement to testify was unprecedented. The next morning, Ambassador Dak took the stand. Its crystalline body hummed softly as it spoke through a translator device. The genetic weapon developed from Dr. Han's research would cause cascading cellular degradation in our species. Dak testified. Our children would be born fractured. Our elders would shatter before their time. Within 3 generations, the Nari would cease to exist. "And what about the territorial dispute?" Do Hyun's lawyer asked. "There is no dispute," Dak replied. "The planets in question were never claimed by humans. We have lived there for 10,000 years. But humans need those worlds for expansion," the lawyer pressed. "Need or want?" Dak's crystal structure shifted, creating a sound like wind chimes. "We believed humans valued life. Dr. Han's work protecting endangered species suggested this. Were we wrong?" The courtroom fell silent. Judge Kang looked at the documents again, then at Do Hyun, then at Suji. "This court will recess until tomorrow for deliberation," she announced. As Sujai left the courtroom, reporters shouted questions. The case had leaked despite the security measures. The public was divided. Some supported human expansion at any cost, while others were horrified by the potential genocide. Suji ignored them all. Tomorrow would determine not just her fate, but possibly that of an entire species. Suji waited nervously as Judge Kang reviewed the case files. The courtroom was packed with humans and non-humans alike. News of the trial had spread across the galaxy. 7 different alien species had sent representatives to observe. This was no longer just about Suji's lawsuit against Do Hyun. It had become a test of humanity's ethics in the interstellar community. "Before I make my ruling," Judge Kang said, "I will hear final statements from both parties." Do Hyun's lawyer stood first. "Your Honor, this case is quite simple. Dr. Han signed a contract that gave Galaxy Tech Industries rights to commercialize her research. The potential military application is a matter of galactic security. Humans need to expand, and that sometimes means making hard choices." He displayed images of overcrowded Earth cities. 20 billion humans need homes. The planets the Nari occupy could support millions of human families. This isn't about genocide. It's about survival. The lawyer pointed at Suji. Dr. Han might love her alien cats more than her own species, but the court must consider human needs first. Suji gripped the table edge as whispers filled the courtroom. Her lawyer, Jae-ho, squeezed her arm reassuringly before standing. "Your Honor," Jae-ho began, "my client would like to address the court directly." Judge Kang nodded. "Proceed, Dr. Han." Suji walked to the center of the courtroom. Her knees felt weak, but her voice was steady. "I've been called Crazy Cat Lady for years," she began. "People think I'm strange because I care about alien creatures. But today I want to explain why this isn't just about saving cats. It's about what makes humans special." Suji activated her tablet. A holographic image appeared showing the human brain alongside various alien brain structures. "This is what gives humans an advantage in the galaxy," she said. "Not our technology or our numbers, but this." She pointed to a specific region of the human brain. "Our capacity for empathy." The hologram shifted to show early human history. Our ancestors survived not because they were the strongest or fastest, but because they could understand others. They could cooperate. They could care about creatures different from themselves. Sujai looked directly at Do Hyun. "Some see this as weakness, But empathy is humanity's greatest strength. It's why we domesticated animals instead of just hunting them. It's why we form alliances instead of just conquering. Just answer yes or no. Your focus is alien cats, correct? Yes, but no further questions. Next, Do-hyun took the stand. Smooth and confident, he painted Suji as a brilliant but unstable scientist who didn't understand business realities. The contract clearly allows for all commercial applications, he testified. Dr. Han received 250,000 credits up front. She has state-of-the-art facilities because of our partnership. And what about the military application? Jae-ho asked during cross-examination. That's classified, Do-hyun replied. But hypothetically, if the Galactic Defense Force needed technology to protect human colonies, wouldn't that be a worthy cause? She displayed images of her work, endangered species saved through her research. My adaptive genetic code helps species survive when their environments change. I created it because I believe all life deserves a chance. Suji's voice grew stronger. Using this technology to kill the Nari wouldn't just harm them, it would harm us. It would betray what makes humans special. Ambassador Dak, the Nari representative, moved forward slightly. Light refracted through its crystalline body, casting rainbows across Suji's face. The Nari might seem alien to you, Suji continued, but they feel pain. They love their children. They mourn their dead, just like us. She turned to the gallery where representatives from other alien species sat watching. For years, many species have seen humans as dangerous. They fear our ambition, our expansion. But through conservation efforts, through cooperation, I've shown another side of humanity. Suji displayed a new image, a map of the galaxy with potential territories marked. There are uninhabited worlds that could support human life. Worlds the Nari can't survive on. But we can. With the right technology, the same technology I developed, we could adapt to these worlds without harming others. She faced the judge again. Your Honor, I'm not asking you to choose between humans and aliens. I'm asking you to uphold what makes humanity worthy of joining the galactic community. Our empathy. Our ability to find solutions that benefit everyone. Suji returned to her seat. The courtroom was silent. Judge Kang studied her notes. This court will recess for 1 hour. During the break, Suji stood alone by the window. The Nari ambassador approached her, its crystalline form humming softly. Human Suji. Dak spoke through its translator. Your words were unexpected. How so? Suji asked. Many species believe humans only understand conquest, that you value only your own kind. You have shown another path. Suji smiled sadly. Not all humans think like me. No, Dak agreed. But your voice was heard today, by many species. When court resumed, Judge Kane's expression was serious. This case has implications beyond a simple contract dispute, she began. It questions who we are as a species and what we stand for as we expand into the galaxy. She looked at Do-hyun, then at Suji. Dr. Han has demonstrated what I believe to be humanity's true advantage, not our technology or military might, but our capacity to care about life different from our own, to find solutions that don't require destruction. Suji held her breath. In the matter of Han Suji versus Kim Do-hyun and Galaxy Tech Industries, Judge Kang continued, this court finds in favor of the plaintiff. Suji closed her eyes as relief washed over her. Around the courtroom, the alien representatives murmured their approval. Humanity had passed an important test. In the shadows of a small, forgotten town, Marcus sat alone in his dimly lit cell, the weight of his past pressing down on him like an invisible stone. 10 years had passed since that fateful night when a moment of rage had changed everything. He had been young, angry, and desperate. A cocktail of emotions that led to a terrible mistake that haunted him every waking moment. The prison walls had become more than just concrete and steel. They were a constant reminder of the life he had destroyed. Not just the life of the victim, but his own life as well. Marcus remembered his mother's tearful visits, her hope gradually fading with each passing year. He had watched the light in her eyes dim, knowing he was the source of her pain. But something unexpected happened during his time in prison. A volunteer named Sarah began teaching literacy classes to inmates. She was different from anyone Marcus had ever met. Not judging, not pitying, but genuinely believing in the potential for change. Her eyes spoke of compassion, and her words carried a hope that Marcus had long forgotten. Through Sarah's classes, Marcus learned to read and write. More importantly, he learned to understand himself. He started writing letters, first to himself, then to his mother, and finally to the family of the man he had hurt. The letters were not excuses, but sincere attempts to understand the pain he had caused. One day, an old prisoner named Robert took Marcus under his wing. Robert had spent decades in prison and had transformed his life through education and self-reflection. Redemption isn't about forgetting, Robert would say. It's about understanding and making things right. Marcus began studying law through correspondence courses. He wanted to understand the system that had judged him, but more importantly, he wanted to help others like himself who had made terrible mistakes. His cell became a small library, filled with books about justice, psychology, and human behavior. As years passed, Marcus changed. His anger dissolved, replaced by a deep sense of responsibility. He participated in rehabilitation programs, counseled younger inmates, and showed them a path different from the one he had walked. The prison staff noticed his transformation, seeing a man who was genuinely committed to change. When his parole hearing arrived, Marcus was different. He didn't beg or make promises. Instead, he spoke honestly about his crime, his journey, and his commitment to making amends. The parole board saw a man who had truly transformed, not through empty words, but through consistent actions. After his release, life was not easy. Finding work with a criminal record was challenging, but Marcus was determined. He started working with a local community center, sharing his story with at-risk youth. His authenticity resonated with teenagers who saw themselves in his past struggles. Years later, Marcus received a letter from the victim's son. It was a turning point. The son, who had grown up hearing about the man who had taken his father's life, wanted to understand. They met, not with anger, but with a mutual desire to heal. Marcus listened, acknowledged his crime, and showed genuine remorse. Sarah, the literacy teacher who had first seen potential in him, watched from a distance. She knew that redemption was not a straight path, but a journey of continuous growth and understanding. Marcus had proven that change was possible, that human beings could transform themselves if given the right support and opportunity. His story became a beacon of hope in a community that had almost given up on second chances. Marcus wasn't just surviving. He was creating meaningful change. He showed that justice wasn't just about punishment, but about understanding, rehabilitation, and the human capacity for growth. The small town that once knew him as a criminal now recognized him as a community leader, a testament to the power of personal transformation. Marcus had turned his greatest mistake into his most powerful lesson, proving that redemption is not about erasing the past, but about creating a better future.